Right, in the US presidential race, candidate Donald Trump declared a loss of hundreds of millions of dollars in 1995. That's according to the New York Times, which says it has seen his tax records for that year. The newspaper alleges that the documents show Mr. Trump declared a $916 million loss on his 1995 income tax returns, a tax deduction so substantial it could have allowed him to legally avoid paying any federal income taxes for up to 18 years. Well, Mr. Trump's campaign has refused to publish his tax returns and said in a statement that Mr. Trump is a highly skilled businessman who has a fiduciary responsibility to his business, his family and his employees to pay no more tax than legally required. It added that Mr. Trump had paid hundreds of millions of dollars in property taxes, sales and excise taxes, real estate taxes, city taxes, state taxes, employee taxes and federal taxes. Well, let's speak to the Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist who co-wrote the story, David Barstow, from the New York Times. He joins me now on the line. Thank you for being with us. This story has caused a storm, hasn't it, since you published it last night. How did you come by these documents?
The documents were actually mailed to us. One of my colleagues on the story is, unlike most of us, is very zealous about checking her mailbox every single day. And they arrived in an envelope, 3 pages of documents. And of course, immediately our fundamental question is, are these documents real? Can we authenticate them?
And when did they arrive? Did it come off the back of Hillary Clinton bringing up Donald Trump's taxes in the first debate?
No, they actually arrived before that. Obviously, Donald Trump's taxes has been one of the central issues of the campaign. A bunch of us, myself and others, have been out there beating the bushes, seeing if we can find a way to get to his taxes. The reporter who did receive the envelope has written some extensive, very good stories about Mr. Trump's finances. She was the lucky recipient of these 3 pages of documents.
So, David, what exactly did the documents reveal?
So what the documents reveal is that in 1995, Donald Trump declared on his taxes a $916 million loss. And it makes some sense immediately because in the early 1990s was a very bad time for him and his businesses. He was losing tons of money on his casinos in Atlantic City, and many of his other business ventures were also losing money. What is, I think, a revelation, and an important revelation from these documents, is the extent to which Donald Trump was able to use our tax codes to benefit from the financial wreckage he left behind in the early 90s. And what's more, that enormous loss of $916 million could be used to avoid paying any income taxes on an equivalent amount of money he might have earned over the following stretch of years. In all, we're looking at an 18-year period that he could have avoided paying taxes on.
If we're just running out of time here, but the Trump campaign says it has paid hundreds of millions of dollars of taxes over the years, and this story doesn't paint a full picture. What's your response?
Well, in that long list of taxes that you just described, there were one tax in particular that he didn't mention, and that's federal income taxes. And that's really what's at issue. Federal income taxes is what just about everybody in America pays, and the notion that a billionaire could have gone 18 years without paying any federal income taxes is obviously the reason why this story has created such a ruckus over here today.
David Barstow, thank you very much for your time.